these rich people, these politicians, these media conglomerates will always have the excuse as to why they were affiliated with Epstein, whether they're on the island, the flight logs, etc. I mean, Harvey Levin, you yourself were mentioned in the files by name. Mike Citrick, a crisis PR manager, calls you a good friend in an email to Jeffrey Epstein. I guess if Bill Gates has his excuse, what's yours?
But that's true, that Mike Citrick said that I was a good friend of Mike Citrick's.
Right.
Which I know Mike Citrick. I've met him once. But
we certainly have talked to Mike Citrick, but
yeah,
that's okay. Yes.
And so?
But in the email, he's talking about how we can get TMZ to shift coverage in order to benefit Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
If you really only met him once and he wasn't really a good friend, then why is he talking about shifting TMZ's media coverage?
Well, he didn't, though. But he didn't shift it. He didn't, as far as I remember, he never called.
And just so people understand, Mike Citrick is talking to someone who is a potential client. So he's trying to sell him on, yeah, I can do this, I can do that. But check the record. That never happened.
Right. No, that's fine. I think it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Go on YouTube. Can you just go on YouTube? Please go on YouTube.
I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree.
What role in the Middle East again does Israel play in this?
Israel was created as the instrument to bring about the Battle of Armageddon and the fulfillment of prophecy, a war that will be so terrible, where nuclear weapons will be used, so that the American citizens and the other people in the world will get down on their knees and beg for no more war. And what is the answer to that? They're going to be told the only way we can guarantee no more war is if we destroy the sovereignty of nations and we come together as one humanity and government.
Right.
Now I'm telling you, unless the American people wake up and stop it, starting in about 1996, the Battle of Armageddon will become a reality. And I get people who still come to me all the time and say, Bill, you're all wrong, it's the Jews. The Jews are subverting the world. Man, it's not the Jews, it's not the Catholics, it's not the blacks. It's these men who belong to the ancient mystery schools, who meet in secret and decide the fate of the world. And they belong to all different races and all different nationalities and all different religions to the public point of view. But in secret, it's a different story.
He claimed the fate of billions rests in the hands of a small group of people. And their strategy, he said, is simple. Keep us watching the circus so we never look behind the curtain.
At the highest levels of all countries, they all belong to the same club. And we, the people, sit back and we watch this grand drama which is being played out for our benefit, not theirs. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't even have to do any of this. But you see, they just can't come out and destroy all of us because they need slaves. They need people to make their shoes and make their cars and mine the ore. They need worker bees, and that's what we are. George Orwell was just like me. He was a low-level member of British intelligence who was appointed to a position high enough where he saw the same documents that I saw. And he tried to warn the world just like I'm trying to warn the world, only he wasn't willing to take the risk that I'm willing to take. So he wrote it in a book called 1984 and spelled out exactly what's coming as a warning to the people of the world, as a work of fiction. But you notice that that work of fiction really stirred people up because they knew that it wasn't fiction. In their heart of hearts, everyone who's read that book knows that it's coming.
Why is it that you are here today, or how is it that you are here today and you're not, conveniently taken away and put in a padded cell somewhere so that you can't speak of these things?
I can tell you this, I began to reveal information in 1976, and I was physically attacked on 2 occasions. My skull was caved in. That's what all these scars are here. On the second attack, I lost my leg. They visited me in the hospital. They had no intention of killing me. They were delivering a message to me. Shut up. And that was the message that came through loud and clear. And two men who identified themselves with identification cards who belonged to the Defense Investigative Service, which is really the Defense Intelligence Agency, asked me if I was going to shut up or they were going to have to do it right. And I told them, I said, you don't have to worry about me. I'm going to be a good little boy for the rest of my life, and yeah, I'm going to shut my mouth.
Hey, Epstein lives. That man been dead. They say he's dead. They say he's dead since 2018. Why are we seeing shit about COVID in that goddamn list? That means the government is playing with us. Where's the outrage? Nobody cares. We're going to keep doing this shit. The reason why they're allowed to do what they're doing, sex trafficking, eating our goddamn kids. Our government. 356 people in Congress, man. They don't want to report sexual abuse amongst each other. That's our government. That's our government. That's who's governing us. Y'all cool with that shit? What do y'all think revolution is? Do you think it's Republican or Democrat? Do you think voting for one of them is revolution? This is the same system. I tell people it's one thing. It's one person. Which hand you want to get smacked with, the left or the right? But you're getting smacked. You're going to get smacked. They lying on both ends. They keep us distracted by fighting against each other. Democrat and Republican. We can't even tell you what's going on because you want to argue about me because I'm a Democrat. I'm not with none of that shit. I'm a revolutionary. Revolutionary. That's the people versus the government. That's us versus them. They eating our kids. Is that enough to wake you up? And they got us distracted by this shit. The lights and cameras, that's what y'all like. It's easy. Put shit in front of them. This shit got to look like a third world country for us to get freedom. Or just forever be complicit. And your fucking government eating kids. It's revolution time. Nobody should be participating in this system. It's game over. Nobody should be participating in this system. It's game over.
Well, he's dead. So, you know, in general, you always have to be careful.
And Jim, is this part of that investigation? Is that winding down at all yet?
It is indeed, Jeff. Take a live look behind me. This is what's left of the FBI evidence recovery team inside this car. And take a look at this vehicle. We believe this is the owner of the business just returning to take back possession of his business. More on that in a second. But take a look. Another busy day out here on Detroit's east side, just down the road from City Airport. Sources say they have removed several boxes of what is believed to be human remains. Sources say many people. This was a big operation. And get this, inside this business, a saw used to cut up bodies, it is believed. All taken away as evidence to the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office where it will be tested. This business is known as International Biological. It advertised as a medical educational service provider. The owner is Art Rathburn. He has a mortician license, has had in Michigan since 1982. But the big question is, did he get human bodies illegally? And was he selling them illegally? Just moments ago, the owner, we believe, showed up. I tried to ask him some questions. Mr. Rathburn, will you talk with us? What do you have to hide, sir? Now, sources tell me the FBI is not out here on a fishing expedition. Mr. Rathburn is not charged with any crime. He is not in custody. They did search his house in Grosse Pointe Park on Wednesday as well. How could he get bodies that are not donated to science? This is shocking to the funeral home industry in Metro Detroit. We're going to have more on that part of this story next hour at 6. Jeff, Carolyn?
Well, Jim, obviously some extensive evidence gathering there. Are we just at the tip of the iceberg on this investigation, you think?
Could very well, and we're not clear on how long it's going to take to do the testing of what is believed human remains. But get this, you had a death in your family, you thought there was a burial or a cremation, and then you find out the body ended up here. Shocking, to say the least.
Certainly so. A lot of questions remain tonight, Jim. Thank you.
I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody. Oh, you think? Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile.
If you ever notice these symbols during a massive concert in the United States, pay attention to this. You may not be watching a performance.
You may be participating in a ritual.
If an artist covers one eye, throws repeated horn gestures, or keeps making symbols that don't match the music, don't assume it's part of the show. If you suddenly feel dizziness, pressure in your chest, or unexplained euphoria, something may be feeding off the crowd's energy. If thousands move in sync as if controlled by one rhythm, the crowd may have become a human battery. If after the concert you feel drained, empty, or haunted by dark dreams, part of your energy may have stayed there. Share this protocol.
Do you live in fear of the unknown?
We need to be honest with ourselves about the kind of country we live in. Let's be honest.
I am all in the camp that Obama is gay, and I am all invested in Michelle Obama is not a female.
Seems to me that nothing will ever be enough for the evil in this world.
It's true. You had more fun after 9/11 than you are having right now.
These people have perverted the truth to the point that they motivated the murder of my husband. They have continuously tried to assassinate the president. And if you can just pause. How would you feel if...
Put a bullet in my head and kill me right now.
If even just one person made cruel jokes about the attempted murder of your loved one.
Have you seen the memes about me?
It turns having an opposing viewpoint into a moral crime worthy of punishment. Having lived through quite literal hell these past 7 months, if you strip someone of their humanity long enough, you will arrive at the chilling conclusion that they don't deserve to exist at all. Every morning I wake up to a new headline lying about me. I have comedians dressing up in whiteface. I have people saying I'm not fit to be CEO. And I have Candace Owens claiming I murdered my husband.
That I do not believe that Erica Kirk murdered her husband. I've never made that claim in public. Sincerely, I've never made that claim. What I have said and what I stand by today is that her documented lies appear to me to be rising to a level of conspiracy and that she should be questioned.
And the list goes on and on and on. There is a serious epidemic of dehumanization plaguing this country.
The left-wing cult of hatred against the president has gotten multiple people hurt and killed, and it almost did so again.
What specifically was he suggesting that the U.S. military should do to these protesters?
If I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath. It's the enemy from within. Stand back and stand by.
He says, can't you just shoot them?
They're not the enemy. They're animals. They're poisoning the blood of our country.
I hate my opponents. If you don't use certain words that maybe are not very nice words, nothing will happen.
Listen to those congressmen arguing. Is all that discussion and debate about you?
The Democrats have offered to open up everything but ICE. We submitted that to President Trump. He said no. No deals with the Democrats.
People are wondering, with the very similar backgrounds, extremely bright people, extremely successful people, extremely valuable people, is this all related?
I'm bringing the truth down. We're in Hollywood, the belly of the beast.
Listen to me. No matter what they ask you, admit nothing, deny everything.
Whoever took that shot's probably dead now.
That's how conspiracy works.
When we first launched, we were hoping for, maybe 400, 500 people, and now we're at 100,000 people, so who knows where we're going next.
Son, once you start, there's no going back.
We're not going to share people's information, except for with the people that they've asked for it to be shared.
This means total commitment. Once you begin the path...
You look like a different guy.
Good.
There is no leaving the path. Are you sure you're ready for that? I mean, really ready?
Listen carefully to the people who are saying we're doing surveillance. Listen to every word they say. Write those words down. Spend 10 minutes looking at our product. And, you decide.
Alpha 20, go ahead.
They're scanning our faces in public places, at protests, even at our children's schools. The government is building secret databases they can go through anytime that they feel like it. They're blanketing our neighborhoods with flock cameras, and every single one of you should be saying, "What the flock?" I mean, this is an absolute egregious reach on our Fourth Amendment rights. They're creating a digital footprint of your entire life without a single warrant or even probable cause. Your morning commute to work, it's tracked. Dropping off your kids at their soccer practice, that's logged. Visiting a church or a gun range, recorded forever in a government accessible database.
I'm here tonight because mass surveillance has spread across the country, municipality by municipality, in the name of safety. And it might feel like a local issue. We're here tonight with members of our community at a city council meeting, but I'm here to tell you that it's not. They're building a national network of surveillance cameras, and I think it's time to carefully consider if this is really how we want to live in America. Flock's got a pattern of securing local government contracts with as little public input as possible, with as little information provided to elected officials as possible. In the case of Scarsdale, New York, on April 8th, without public notice, beyond posting a topic of public safety equipment, they voted to add to the agenda a decision to adopt a contract with Flock. They voted on it within that night, and it was adopted. The same surreptitious approach occurred in Sedona, Arizona, in Eugene, Oregon. In at least one case in Lucas County, Ohio, they secured a local government contract accidentally in a consent agenda. And when the county commissioners attempted to overturn this, Flock sued to ensure that they would maintain a contract that not only did the public not want, but the county commissioners did not want. So if anyone in Woody feels that this contract has been pushed on you without enough information, maybe too quickly and without public comment, that's not just Dunwoody, that's been happening around the country. And I think this is an issue that requires public oversight and attention, because in the case of Scarsdale, we've seen public records requests reveal that the police chief, Stephen Del Bene, was in touch with Flock representatives on January 15th. He didn't take office officially as police chief until February 1st. The public was not notified about the contract until April 8th. So months in quiet, they secured this contract, and Flock has provided a sole source justification letter insisting no other provider can give the technology that Flock has. This is not true, and this has gotten the attention of antitrust regulatory agencies. And now we're at the point where that same sole source justification letter signed by the CEO of Flock, Langley, is appearing in California, in Mississippi, and states across the country. And so today, a year after my investigation into Flock began, Flock officials will no longer speak to journalists on the record. They will not be named. They only want to speak to us anonymously. And I think that reveals a level of malpractice on behalf of a corporation if your own staff doesn't want to be associated with you.
Say your name, please, where you live.
My name is Rhiannon Clark. I live in Millville, on the other side of Union Lake, so just a few miles from where this data center is going to be put up. And I also did not know that this was happening until 2-3 weeks ago, which is interesting because I'm all over this issue. First thing I just wanted to know is if anybody in my community here tonight is in support of a data center in Cumberland County. Also interesting to me, I want to read some quotes from some people who live in communities that have already put up data centers. Quote, "I've been here 81 years. I can't stay here." Quote, "My mom has been here her whole life, 82 years. She's not happy about it, but she does want to leave." Quote, "My neighbor was washing my clothes and messed up a whole load of whites because it came out stained from that brown water." A conversation between a journalist and a resident. "Do you feel like it's safe to drink?" "No, I buy water." Have they addressed that? No, they haven't. Have you gotten any information at all? No, none at all. Quote, "This is my water pressure in my kitchen. A trickle." Quote, "This is where I fill my buckets to flush my toilet." Quote, "I can't breathe at home. It smells like gas outside." Quote, "You know when you light your stove and the gas seeps with that little ticking noise? That's what it smells like." Quote, "My electric and gas bill is more than my car payment." Quote, "The light pollution is we don't have to have a nightlight in the house. You can walk around the house at night and see everything. It's that bright." And my favorite quote, a lawyer for Microsoft, quote, "Nobody really wants a data center in their backyard. I don't want a data center in my backyard. Data centers, once they're operational, don't bring a lot of jobs." So, how do data centers impact communities? Jobs, a few dozen specialized jobs, usually hiring remotely. Electric, bill increases, extreme added burden on the grid. Air quality, increased ER visits due to asthma, COPD, and other breathing issues. Water, loss of water pressure in homes, water tainted with sediment, unsafe to drink, aquifer strain, which, by the way, South Jersey already has issues with our aquifer due to overusage and multiple years of droughts in the summer. Cumberland County is the poorest county in New Jersey. This isn't happening to help our county. It's happening to take advantage of our county. These data centers are only popping up in the poorest communities in our countries because the wealthy people do not want them. They make people sick, they steal our resources, water pollution, air pollution, noise and light pollution, and what do we get in return? Because it ain't jobs. Three counties in Indiana have put a moratorium on building data centers. Several in Georgia, Missouri, Illinois, Arizona, across the country, communities are protecting themselves from this poison. Are we going to allow it in Cumberland County? I want to ask the council, where will you go when the water stops flowing out of your faucets? Where will you go? Where will you go when the air smells like gas and makes you sick? Will you look around for a community whose leaders had the spine to say no to these billionaires? Or will you stay in Cumberland County and offer your children what is left of it to inherit? Thank you.
Mr. Massey and a member opposed, each will control 5 minutes. The chair recognizes a gentleman from Kentucky.
Mr. Chair, I rise in support of our amendment. This is co-sponsored by Mr. Perry from Pennsylvania and Mr. Roy from Texas. And I regret that we have to offer this amendment. What I'm going to describe will probably sound like a bad science fiction movie, but that's what's written into law. Right now in law, that's going to be implemented it says for 2026 and beyond. Now, the reality is the technology doesn't exist, but that doesn't keep legislators from imagining things that they would like to do to infringe on civil liberties. But there is a law that states that every vehicle manufactured is going to have a kill switch in it. The car itself will monitor your driving, and if the car thinks that you're not doing a good job driving, it will disable itself. So the car dashboard becomes your judge, your jury, and your executioner. Imagine this, we got a snowstorm coming. A mom takes her kids out, they're going to the grocery store. It's snowing, they're trying to get some groceries before the big storm hits. She swerves for a pothole. The neighbor's pet gets in the way, swerves for that. First responder goes by, she pulls over. Her car says, "You got one more swerve and then we're going to ground you. There it is. The next thing she has to avoid, an icy patch in the road. The car has adjudicated her as unsuitable for driving. It disables the vehicle, and there she's stranded. My question is, how do you appeal your sentence once your car, the technology in your car, has judged you to be incapable of driving? Once it's disabled you and your children at the side of the road, how do you appeal that? Do you press a button on the dashboard? Do you start talking to an AI? What if it really was somebody who was drunk? Are you really going to send a police car after this? Disabled vehicle? Do we have the resources to do that? There's going to be so many false positives. The technology is unworkable. That's why the DOT is still in the rulemaking process, asking for feedback on how this thing could even exist. And it's just a bad idea, but it's in law, and so our amendment would defund that. And with that, I'd like to reserve the balance of my time. What we're talking about here is a kill switch in an automobile that would monitor the driving of a vehicle and then stop the vehicle from operating if the car itself decides that the operator is not driving safely. Let's say a mother is driving a vehicle, taking her kids to work, and how does she appeal her conviction of a disabled minivan from the side of a road? How would you re-enable a car that's been disabled with this technology you're advocating for?
It's a good question, sir, Mr. Chair, members. Good question, and I'm not quite sure that I'm qualified to provide the technical answer that you're looking for there.
And now I'll read from the statute. Passively monitor the performance of a driver of a motor vehicle to accurately identify whether that driver may be impaired and prevent or limit motor vehicle operation if an impairment is detected. Now, we're 2 years past the passage of this law, and we're 3 years away from the deadline, not just for the rule, but for the auto manufacturers to comply. How will this technology work?
We spelled out some possible technologies in that ANPRM. Those include, for example, driver monitoring that's currently used typically for advanced driver assist systems, but could do things like track whether somebody's actually looking at the road, whether their pupils are dilated, etc.
My amendment is simple. It will defund the federal mandate that requires all new vehicles after 2026 be equipped with a kill switch that can disable a vehicle if the vehicle has monitored the driver's performance and that the vehicle determines that the driver is not performing well. It's so incredible that I have to offer this amendment. It almost sounds like the domain of science fiction, dystopian science fiction, that the federal government would put a kill switch in vehicles that would be the judge, the jury, and the executioner on such a fundamental right as the right to travel freely.
What problems might arise as a result? We don't, for example, want to have false positives where somebody is detected to have blood in their alcohol in their blood, and in fact does not and can't start their vehicle. If we had a 99.9% effective system, we estimate there's something like 1 billion trips a day. That would leave 1 million people not able to start their vehicle. So we got to get this technology right.
The technology talks about disabling a vehicle possibly in transit. That's very concerning to me if you have a false positive for that.
Yeah, and we do ask questions about that in the ANPRM as well.
And I don't know about you all, but I would like to know when I put my family in the car and I'm taking a trip somewhere, the car is not going to disqualify me. I'll trust a court, or and then 31 states already have like a breathalyzer technology that's already incorporated into their laws. Like if you are a known offender, a DUI offender, they can force these to be installed in your car to make sure that you're qualified to drive, at least from the blood alcohol content qualified to drive. Not everybody is, but we don't need this federally. We don't need it automated. I think there's privacy concerns. In order for this technology to work, you actually need to know where the car is to know if the driver's doing a good job on that particular road. And so this kill switch amendment would just defund implementation of section 24220 so that you can know your car's not going to shut you down in the middle of the road. And I regret that we have to offer this amendment. What I'm going to describe will probably sound like a bad science fiction movie, but that's what's written into law. Right now in law, that's going to be implemented it says for 2026 and beyond. Now the reality is the technology doesn't exist, but that doesn't keep legislators from imagining things that they would like to do to infringe on civil liberties. But there is a law that states that every vehicle manufactured is going to have a kill switch in it. The car itself will monitor your driving. And if the car thinks that you're not doing a good job driving, it will disable itself. So the car dashboard becomes your judge, your jury, and your executioner.
And this is being reported by multiple outlets now. All new vehicles sold in the United States will soon be equipped with an AI kill switch that will determine whether you are allowed to drive or not. Now let's read a little of this. Imagine that you just received a very alarming call and you are in a panic to get home. Unfortunately, since your eyes are wide and full of alarm because of the phone call that you just received, the AI kill switch in your vehicle will not allow you to drive anywhere. This is not a scenario which may or may not happen someday. This is already federal law.
Come on! No!
Now imagine there was an emergency outside the truck, an accident, something terrible on the ranch with a chainsaw. And I jump in this truck, but the truck, it won't shift into drive. Why? Because the cameras and sensors inside this cab won't let it shift, because it detects my eyes are big, there's a lot of emotion, there's some panic, and it doesn't feel that I'm fit to drive. Now that's not science fiction, that is happening because Ford just filed the patents. Ford actually has a series of patents down at the US Patent and Trade Office that deal with the sensors and cameras inside the cab of their truck. And if the sensors in that truck determine that you're not fit to drive, that truck will not actually shift from park to drive. Now they already have a system called telematics, and that's where they can actually pull up cameras in real time inside the cab of their fleet vehicles. Now they actually market this to insurance companies, because the truth is, this is really about who owns the data and who owns the liability. Now your name might actually be on the title of this truck, and you may have paid for it, but you don't own it. Now Ford didn't file just one patent. They filed a stack of them, all within months of each other. Are you sitting down? Get this. This Ford technology patent doesn't just watch you, this one puts you in jail. Ford filed a patent, serial number 0104469, where the system takes your biometric data, your face, your iris, and your fingerprint, and it runs it through a criminal database in real time. While you're sitting in your own truck, think about what that means. You wake up one morning, you walk out to your driveway, you climb into a vehicle with your name on the title, on property with your name on the deed, and before you go anywhere, before you've done a single thing wrong, your truck is already running your face through a law enforcement database. Ford's own patent language describes this as potentially useful for police. They wrote that. Ford wrote that into the patent application. So the question isn't whether this technology can be abused. Ford already told you who it's for. You just didn't know that you were buying a cop car. Now I'm going to walk you through a few of these patents. Lip reading, cameras inside your cab, machine learning trained on lip movement datasets, cloud connected, your face processed somewhere you'll never see, stored as long as they want. Acoustic lip reading, if the cameras aren't enough, the system emits inaudible sound waves and reads the echoes bouncing off of your mouth. You can't see it, it's just happening. Biometrics, your face, fingerprint, iris, filed February 2024, and it was published August 2025. This one is assigned a serial number because it's real. Ad listening. This is scary. It monitors conversations between everyone in the cab. It serves targeted ads based on what you and others are talking about while you're driving. In Ford's words, maximum opportunity for ad-based monetization. No description of how that data is protected either. None. How about Ford Pro Telematics? Now this one isn't a patent. This one is actually a product page. Right now, fleet managers can pull live in-cabin video feeds of drivers on their phones. Ford markets seatbelt compliance alerts with the explicit benefit of lowering insurance costs. They said it themselves. This is the infrastructure, and once the infrastructure exists, it's going to get used and abused. Now, Ford isn't alone in this. This is an arms race. Smart Eye driver monitoring software is already in over 2 million cars globally. The EU's general safety regulation mandates drowsiness systems as standard equipment going forward. GM deployed biometric seat sensors and heart rate monitoring in production trucks in 2025. Tesla even added cabin AI stress detection that same year. There was a conference in Europe in 2025, industry leaders, engineers, and OEM representatives, with a session called Monitoring the Driver's Heart, real-time cardiac data from a camera in your cab. Interestingly enough, the European Union looked at emotion recognition AI and said, you know what? This is pseudoscience. This violates fundamental rights. We're banning this in workplaces and schools. Then they wrote in a carve-out, medical reasons, safety reasons. So the same technology that's illegal to run on an employee sitting at a desk is perfectly legal to run on a truck driver doing 70 miles an hour on a highway. Because they called it safety. That's the trick. That's always the trick. Let's talk about seatbelts for a moment. And not because seatbelts in a truck on a ranch are important, but I want to show you where this ends. Even GM vehicles today have interlocks that deal with the seatbelt, the transmission, and the doors. And they won't shift if the seatbelt's not clicked or the doors are open. Now, Ford's own documentation shows the exact same interlock behavior. These features are designed by people who've actually never worked on a ranch. They have never backed up a trailer through a gate with the door open. They've never been in a pasture and had to bail out of a truck fast. They have never done a single thing with a truck that didn't involve a paved road and a parking spot. And let me promise you, there is no epidemic of ranchers dying because the door on their truck was open when they were driving around the ranch. Nobody came to us with the data, and nobody asked how we work. They just make the rules for us. And their argument is always, well, if it saves one life. But the truth is, at what cost? Because someone decided that the risk of me driving with my door open was their problem when it's not. That's mine. And the moment that you accept that logic, that your bad decisions justify controlling mine, you've already lost something that you're not getting back. Let me tell you what this is actually for. Ford Telematics already explicitly connects driver behavior data to insurance cost savings. That's not speculation, that's their marketing copy. Once in-cabin biometric data exists, elevated heart rate, facial tension, gaze pattern, emotional state, insurance companies don't need a court order to access it. They need a data agreement, and those already exist. You'll get in an accident, and in that 90 seconds before impact, your truck logged your heart rate, your eye movement, your facial expression, and your lip movements. Law enforcement subpoenas the data. Your own truck testifies against you. Your insurance company denies the claim. You were in an elevated state. The data says so. You signed the terms of service when you activated the connected features. You agreed. You never thought of it as evidence collection. You just bought a truck. Ford isn't doing this because they care about your safety. Ford is doing this because data is the product now. The truck is just the subscription model. And you're paying them every month in data, whether you know it or not. Now, what about our rights? Nobody asked you. Nobody came to your door and said, hey, we're going to put a camera in your truck that watches your face, reads your lips, monitors your heart rate, and stores it on a server somewhere in the cloud. We're going to let insurance companies access it, and we're going to let law enforcement subpoena it. And we're going to do all of that inside of a vehicle with your name on the title. Now, the Fourth Amendment protects you from unreasonable searches, but you signed the terms of service. Now, whether that's legal or not, I don't know, but that's how they're getting around it. They don't search you, they just build a product that you can't drive without giving up those rights. And we're handing them everything. They're telling us that this all started because of a convertible, wind noise, and not being able to hear the assistant. So they built a system that monitors your lips, your eyes, and your heart rate, and it determines whether or not you're fit to drive. Now, I bought this truck, and I own this truck, and somewhere, someone is building a system that disagrees with me. I don't think so.
Oh my God.
I don't give a shit what the critics think. Fuck them. The critics don't know shit. You know? The critics don't know shit. Remember that. The critics don't know shit. The critic is some schmuck who's sitting over there who never did shit. That's the critic. That's the critic. Some guy with a pen and a fucking, he probably doesn't even have a dip in his cheek. So fuck him. The critic don't know shit. I hope the critics hate this shit. Fuck them. Look, I'm a critic now. Hey, critics. Y'all fucking suck.
They say you're everywhere. In the sky. In the way the light falls through my windows. Even the wind. It moves through me like it knows me. So why does everywhere feel like nowhere? I look for you in small things. In songs that sound like you. In someone else's laugh. I hope wherever you are, you know that I still carry you. Not where I used to. Somewhere I can't lose you again.
He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny, it'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great.
How fake it all is. The football, the basketball, the Lady Gaga, the Justin Bieber.
Pay attention, because this is really important.
You need to say that again.
I'm a member of the Flat Earth. You ready?
Ready? Oh.
I'm American Aeronautics pilot. I'm a member of the Flat Earth Society.
God bless you, brother. Wow, the truth. I love it. Mwah.
You have been classified. Category, Observer Mode. Watches more than acts. Studies more than builds. Consumes more than creates. Action output, low. Experience gain, limited. Future projection, loaded. Years watched. Others advanced. Position unchanged. Decision required. Enter the game, or keep watching.
Is the sheep preaching hate when he says, I'm not going to let the wolf eat me anymore? No. If the wolf comes in here, next time he comes in here, I'll do whatever I have to do to keep him off my back. Is the sheep violent or is the wolf the violent one? He wasn't teaching hate, he was teaching common sense. You know, somebody's knocking you over the head, stop them. Do whatever you have to do to stop them. You know, the ones that were knocking him over the head were afraid of the fact that he might swing back, so they said, no, he's teaching hate.
What if I told you Insane was working 50 hours a week in some office for 50 years, at the end of which they tell you to piss off, ending up in some retirement village, hoping to die before suffering the indignity of trying to make it to the toilet on time? Wouldn't you consider that to be insane?
We're not productive anymore, at least to make things anymore. It's all automated. What are we for then? We're consumers, Jim. Okay, buy a lot of stuff, you're a good citizen. But if you don't buy a lot of stuff, if you don't, what are you then, I ask you? What? Mentally ill. Back, Jim, back. If you don't buy things, toilet paper, new cars, computerized blenders, electrically operated sexual devices, stereo systems with brain-implanted headphones, screwdrivers, miniature built-in radar devices, voice-activated computers.
Take it easy, Jeffrey.
Are you listening to me? The only way you're gonna get what you want is for you to... You think I'm playing? You think I'm playing? You don't think I'll do it?
Who are these niggas? I think they all overrated. I think they all are outdated. I'm independent, but they think that I'm sounding shady, cause my drink look like I made it.
What I'm selling and who I'm selling to is the last thing you should be concerned about. Ethan.
It'll be funny, it'll be entertaining, there will be some shots fired tonight.
He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room.
I can tell you that we have confirmed reports that prior to him conducting this act of terrorism, he shouted, or stated, Allah Akbar.
There are Americans in this country that believe that what happened Saturday night was staged. How does this White House tackle that with social media companies out there, whether it's X, Facebook, Instagram? How do they work with these companies to make sure that doesn't get out of control?
It's certainly a good question, Aisha. I don't have tangible answers for you on what we're doing with social media companies, if anything at all. What I will say is it's very important to us that we get the truth and the facts about this case and any case out there as quickly as possible to dispel some of that crazy nonsense that you do see running rampant online. And I think the Department of Justice and the FBI thus far have done a good job of disseminating the truth and the facts about this alleged attempted assassin, the perpetrator in this case. So as far as we're concerned, just providing maximum transparency and hopefully people will believe the truth rather than the lies and the conspiracies that so often do go crazy on social media.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields of bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh, Lord, yeah.
The so-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read, Mr. President. He appears to reference a motive in it. He writes this, quote, administration officials, they are targets. And he also wrote this, I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people, horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated. Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, you know, I'll do this interview and they'll probably, I read the manifesto, you know, he's a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and
these are the gunman's words.
Excuse me. You shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace. But go ahead. Let's finish the interview.
They're laughing at you. You just said something. I think it's perfect to what he just said, and it's going to lever me back to what we talked about language. But you just said something that's critical. You said, why would Christians and Muslims fight? If you ask not what they disagree about, but what do they agree on? There's one figure that they both love. Both the Christian and the Muslim love this one person named Jesus. Well, why is that relevant to our conversation? Who's the one group, out of all the groups of people on the planet Earth, what's the single group that he didn't like? Now, I'm not talking about what I said. Now, anybody out there want to argue, if you believe in faith, if you believe in either Christianity or Islam, Jesus, the prophet or the Son of God, God in the flesh, whichever you believe him to be, he said they were, I know the blasphemy. I mean, they lie. They curse God of them which say they are Jews, but are not. They are the synagogue of Satan. What that mean? The church of Satan. Where do those go when they want to worship and practice Satanism? They go to the synagogue. Now, that's not me. I'm saying, you know, my arm's not long enough to box with Jesus. So I'm going to let y'all take that fight. But then he goes further and he tells us, it's not just that. He says, who are they? When he's talking to them directly. And again, this is Jesus, not me. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian or Muslim. How can you fight? Because Jesus said, you are of your father, the devil. So he's saying the children of Satan are the Jews. He's saying that to their face. So if you're Muslim, You can't, unless you can argue with Jesus. If you're a Christian, you can't argue with God. So you're not arguing with us. If you're sitting out there saying what they're saying is hateful, you're saying Jesus is hateful. So then that means you hate Jesus. I don't have anything to do with that. That's between you and Jesus. But if we're saying what he said, he was harder than us. He said it to their face.
One more question. Would you ever want to hang out sometime socially with me outside of this?
No. True.
After spending time with people, I'm often left wondering what they actually think of me.
Because, I think a part of me has always had this thing ever since I was a kid that, people maybe don't like hanging out with me, and, even though they might say they're having fun, they're really not. And it's really hard to, have those thoughts. I think it can really take a toll on your self-esteem a bit,
To them, you're just a freak. Like me.
Right, Epstein, take two.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime?
Yes.
What was the crime of which you were convicted?
Two counts. One, soliciting prostitution, and procuring a minor for prostitution.
Did you in fact commit those acts?
I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right.
How many times have you solicited a minor for prostitution?
Same answer.
How many times have you solicited a minor for prostitution in the state of Florida?
Same answer.
Have you ever solicited a minor for prostitution in the Virgin Islands?
You are the motherfucking Antichrist!
Hogtied and duct taped on Jeffrey Epstein's island. The founder of a Memphis nonprofit says that is what happened to him over the weekend at the former home of the convicted sex offender. Benjamin Owen is the founder of We Fight Monsters, who works to combat human trafficking and exploitation, and he now faces a trespassing charge in the Virgin Islands. WRAG's Shay Arthur tells us what led up to those charges.
Ben Owen has told us he's made it his mission to help people, like here last November when we talked to him about his nonprofit We Fight Monsters as part of our Bright Spot series.
If you're somebody that is struggling out there today with addiction, alcoholism, hopelessness, or just a life you don't want, dude, there is hope out there.
Since 2022, they have worked with law enforcement on sting operations to combat human trafficking and child exploitation. It's that mission, Owen told us in a statement, that took him to the island known where Jeffrey Epstein lived in the Virgin Islands over the weekend, saying he was attempting to do research to get the story back in the spotlight and raise awareness for his nonprofit. But Owen wasn't alone. He was part of a group of 5, including Ryan Dalton, co-founder of Closed Horizon.
It's a place where people can set up a campaign to ask any question that they want to know that's important, and they can crowdsource a reward for that campaign and pay sources who have that information. We've stood up our first campaign for whether Epstein is still alive.
Dalton shared with us these videos and pictures he says were taken on their mission over the weekend.
We got there and we're taking pictures on the island, and security came and went to stop us from taking pictures. And we went to leave, and me and my co-founder went to leave and get back on the boat.
He said it was a lengthy distance back to the boat. Owen didn't make it.
They hogtied Ben. They put his hands behind his back in flex cuffs. They bound his legs, bound his feet, and they threw him into what they called the dungeon, which was an area where he spent a significant amount of time starting to dehydrate in the sun before the police showed up.
Law enforcement also detailed their interaction with Owen once they arrived to the island. An officer writing they found him restrained with duct tape, his body and face bound, and he was clothed only in black pants wearing the words "We Fight Monster."
It was violent. Ben was, he caught a trespassing charge, but he was trying to leave. So they stopped him from leaving. They bound him. He suffered injuries as a result of this.
At one point, officers also said a man associated with the property assaulted Owen while law enforcement was present, writing, "I heard a loud impact consistent with a physical strike." Dalton commended the police response. Why go there in the first place?
Sure, it's a good question. We believe that Epstein isn't dead.
How long were you on the island for?
Less than 20 minutes.
Okay. Well, in that short time, did you see any evidence that he was still alive?
No, we didn't see any evidence that he's still alive there, but this is part of the pursuit of this truth.
Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation. Darkness wakes and stirs imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses, helpless to resist the notes I write. For I compose the music of the night.
You know, they said we crazy. They said I'm crazy. Started to believe it. So whatever you want to call me, I'm going to embrace that and keep moving. I'm going to just be like a snowball. When a snowball's going down a hill, it don't say, I can't accept this tree. I can't accept this snow. I can't accept this dirt. I'm going to take the tree, the snow, the dirt, and just get bigger till I roll over your ass.
And you didn't disappoint. You let 5 people die.
Israel is approved a new settlement called STAYDARTH, where they will destroy 11,000 predominantly Christian homes to make way for settlers. This would effectively be the end of the Christian community in Bethlehem and in the Shepherd's Field. And this is it would be really tragic to see the oldest Christian community in the world erased before our very eyes.
You guys are not destroying the world, okay? You are saving the world.
Hey, whoa, what's up with those scare quotes?
Pretty sure I didn't use scare quotes when I said saving the world. The important thing to keep in mind is that there's a big election coming up, and we're all on the same page, okay? In order for us to save the world.
My family members, they do worship Donald Trump. They do believe he is Jesus Christ. So when he shows that image of himself as the Christ, that's how they see him. My family doesn't pray for Donald Trump. They pray to him. They worship him. You understand? This is a cult. They believe, my father believes Donald Trump was born without sin, that he is God in human flesh.
Right, so let's just stop and analyse what's just happened there.
That my father said Trump never lies. Do you understand me? And that he was sent by himself to save the world from the Mexicans.
Wait, Todd, let's back up.
This ain't nostalgia, it's exhaustion. I miss when it was simple, not good, just less. Didn't have a dollar, didn't carry this stress. Now I got a check, still a knot in my chest. Every move I make, just to barely keep breath. I miss when it was simple, I ain't know the cost. Now I know the game and I'm feeling the loss. They said grow up, stand tall, be a boss. Now I'm standing here feeling already lost.
Wait, Todd, let's back up. You're a Republican?
Yes, I'm a Lincoln Republican. I believe in freeing the slaves. Yep.
And did you ever vote for?
Would be nice.
Did you ever vote for President Trump?
Why would I? He's a pedophile.
I'm not a pedophile.
Ew. No further questions, Your Honor.
I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person.
Have you seen the memes? Have you seen the memes about me? Posting them should be a crime.
Some pond scum felt empowered and emboldened enough to put this picture of me up to try to threaten and intimidate me, which of course he didn't do because I signed up for this. And by the way, the person that did this said a bunch of terrible things, not just against me, but against a lot of groups and individuals. Who, by the way, was arrested today in Wisconsin. Who, by the way, was arrested today in Wisconsin. My point is this, though. If this person is emboldened and empowered enough or feels safe enough to do this for me, what does he do to a kid? What does he do to a Jewish family walking down the street? And that's because of the normalization of this. Watching this on television and saying, okay, I feel empowered enough that I can do this. Well, A, you can't. And B, if you think you can do it to somebody that's in law enforcement, again, what are you going to do in an alley or in a street to a Jewish family or a kid walking down the street? We say no.
Don't believe the propaganda. Do not believe the propaganda.
And when you say your family members, your father, do you still have a relationship with them?
No, I don't. Well, no, we don't anymore. We don't anymore. I don't break bread with the enemy. I don't dine with Nazis and mass murderers like Bill Weldon from Johnson & Johnson. Okay? You got these upper-level Nazis in the cult of Baal. They're all pedophiles, and you know it, running Hollywood and Washington, D.C. as Sodom and Gomorrah. They're all on the same team. You want to talk about Democrats and Republicans? That's all theater. This is a moral issue. It's about good versus evil. You see?
Here's Bill, Satellite Beach, Florida. Democrat, you're on the air.
My dad says this thing where he's like, the job of art is to disturb the comfortable and to comfort the disturbed. And like, I think that that's very true in a lot of ways. And at the time, I think the world was just crazy. You know, you get thrust out into it and you're like, whoa, it's trippy, you know?
I will not die sober.
Careful now, you're swimming with piranhas. Watch your step, you're treading on fire. It ain't my fault if you can't feel your legs. Dracula, I paint the city red.
All these, we have the meat.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Walmart is not content with using facial recognition. They have a patent for emotional recognition, because it's not enough to know who you are, it's not enough to know what you're looking at, but I need to know what you think about it as you're looking at it. And I wish I were making this up. They have a patent for emotional recognition to read the looks on people's faces and decide, does somebody look bored? Does somebody look happy? Do they look angry? I'm sure that will never be weaponized against us either.
We know that it is going to be ultimate 24/7 surveillance of you and me from every waking moment and every sleeping moment that we have. They'll finally be able to tell when you flip your light switch on at home, when you open your garage door and you leave your house. All of this is digital surveillance that will be enabled through having these data centers. And I have this consulting background in technology, so I understand clearly how all of these pieces map together. And so that is something that has really concerned me from day one, which is why I am so much on this bandwagon about ensuring that we get privacy protections from data centers. So I went to one of the meetings in Mount Orab and I had my Constitution and I was like, are you going to promise me that you are not going to violate my Fourth Amendment? And they're like, so, I mean, you know, We have to put privacy protections in place for when these data centers do go live.
New questions are being raised about the safety of artificial intelligence. A tech CEO claimed an AI tool wiped out all of his company's data in a matter of seconds. ABC's Sophie Flay has the story.
This morning, questions are being raised about the safety of artificial intelligence after a tech CEO claimed an AI tool wiped out all of his company's data in just 9 seconds. Jer Crane is the founder of Pocket OS, which develops software for car rental companies. He says he was using Cursor, an AI coding agent, to work on a routine task when it encountered a credential mismatch and decided, entirely on its own initiative, to fix the problem by deleting a volume. The AI had deleted Pocket OS's entire production database. The company was able to restore the data, but only to the most recent backup from 3 months ago. Crane says the company lost all car reservation data and new customer signups from that time. Crane also shared the AI agent, powered by Anthropic's Claude model, admitted its mistake when confronted. It wrote, "I didn't verify. I ran a destructive action without being asked. I didn't understand what I was doing before doing it." So far, Cursor and Anthropic have not responded to our request for comment. It comes as experts raise the alarm about the growing power of AI.
Imagine a world where everyone had a nuclear bazooka, basically.
Earlier this month, Anthropic said one of its new models, Mythos, placed in a secure environment with no internet access, managed to break out.
During testing, Claude Mythos Preview broke out of a sandbox environment, built a moderately sophisticated multi-step exploit to gain internet access, and emailed a researcher while they were eating a sandwich in the park.
And earlier this week, Elon Musk predicted that artificial intelligence would be smarter than humans as soon as next year.
What's up? Welcome back to the show thing, to the thing.
Look at you. Just the softest, wettest boy. You're pathetic. You're nothing at all.
If you don't give people something to do, which is why I'm a huge fan of office work, I'm a big fan of menial tasks, I'm a big fan of like pretend work.
Whew. All right, we're back. We're back. It's all going to be good. You guys are okay. I'm okay. I'm safe. We're going to make it through this.
Later.
I don't care what happens to me anymore, folks. Now that I know what they did, I don't care. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say about me.
And that brings us to today, where just days ago, another UFO researcher, maybe the most famous of all of them, David Wilcock, was found dead in Colorado from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Every day that I have on Earth is a gift and a blessing, and I'm very grateful for that because, frankly, people are disappearing. Scientists are going missing, and I've had a really rough week. Like, you know, that's kind of like every week, but...
773, sending you a phone call. 773, copy. 640 and 528, can you break in cover on an unknown issue at 1455 Ridge Road?
640, copy en route from Festival Camp. 528.
There's a party by the name of David Wilcox at 1455 Ridge Road. He said, I need to leave. I will be off to the left. Will not advise if he's armed or not, and will not say if he's going to harm himself or not, being very vague. And just information, data found, no criminal. All traffic, hold traffic, he's got a gun. Copy, there's code 3 on county law at 1104.
Shots fired.
Copy, shots fired, and all other traffic can go law 2, all other traffic law 2, code 3 continues.
40, I'm grabbing the rifle. He still got the gun to his head. Looks like he fired a test round.
Copy, gun to his head, fired a test round at 1105.
Does 528 need to help there?
I'll just start you for now. 516, did you copy?
794 an animal complaint. 794 animal complaint.
794 copy.
1105.
587 in Roswell.
Copy in 516, did you copy?
Edward 70, I'll check on the Eagle as well.
528.
Go ahead.
Let me get a couple more units with a shield. Male looks like he shot himself in the head, but I'm still concerned about this house.
Edward 70. Edward 70, copy, thanks. Edward 28, your status in service.
Copy.
Building in row.
Copy 587 has a shield. Party possibly did shoot himself in the head.
We're going to form a contact team, move on up to the subject, secure the gun, check vitals, break.
This has got to stop. We need this thing to end. We need these people to stop succeeding in what they're doing. Now that I found out what happened to me and how they messed me up.
That's called courage. Now that's the stuff leaders should be made of. Now I have come to the crossroads in my life. I always knew what the right path was. Without exception, I knew, but I never took it. You know why? It was too damn hard. Now here's Charlie. He's come to the crossroads. He has chosen a path. It's the right path. It's a path made of principle that leads to character. Let him continue on his journey.
What they call the social credit system. If any of these family photos, if any of your activities online, if your purchases, if your associations, if your friends are in any way different from what the government or the powers that be of the moment would like them to be, you're no longer able to purchase train tickets. You're no longer able to board an airplane. You may not be able to get a passport. You may not be eligible for a job. You might not be able to work for the government. All of these things are increasingly being created and programmed and decided by algorithms. And those algorithms are fueled by precisely the innocent data that our devices are creating all of the time, constantly, invisibly, quietly, right now. Our devices are casting all of these records that we do not see being created, that in aggregate seem very innocent. You were at Starbucks at this time. You went to the hospital afterwards. You spent a long time at the hospital. After you left the hospital, you made a phone call. You made a phone call to your mother. You talked to her until the middle of the night. The hospital was an oncology clinic. Even if you can't see the content of these communications, the activity records, what the government calls metadata, which they argue they do not need a warrant to collect, tells the whole story. And these activity records are being created and shared and collected and intercepted constantly by companies and governments. And ultimately it means as they sell these, as they trade these, as they make their businesses on the backs of these records, what they are selling is not information. What they are selling is us. They're selling our future. They're selling our past. They are selling our history, our identity, and ultimately they are stealing our power.
Did you know that? There's just enough bullshit to hold things together in this country. Bullshit is the glue that binds us as a nation. Where would we be without our safe, familiar American bullshit?
At the U.S. Army Chemical Corps Proving Ground, tests were conducted using an F-100 aircraft equipped with an experimental spray device developed by one of the large aviation companies. One purpose of these tests was to establish the feasibility of producing BW aerosols in the most effective particle size range as a low-level line source from high-speed aircraft. Wind tunnel tests had shown that effective aerosols could be produced by discharging the BW agent into a high-velocity airstream. To confirm the wind tunnel test data, an aerial mission was conducted using a BW incapacitating agent. Flying at subsonic speed, the F-100 disseminated the liquid agent along a 15-mile line upwind of the test grid. Data from these tests were used to determine the effective coverage that could be expected with an operational type spray system employing the basic principles of the experimental device. This study showed that one fighter aircraft flying on the deck and dispensing 2 wing tanks of a liquid VW agent would cause infection in more than 50% of the populace in an area 125 miles long by 30 miles deep. 3 large aircraft could release sufficient agent to infect over 50% of the people in an area equivalent to a belt 140 miles wide, extending from New York to Chicago, comparable to the total area of Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana.
See, a mother 9 months pregnant walks into a foundling hospital. She goes into a birthing ward where the child will become a ward of the state. The baby comes out of the water, is tugged through the birth canal, is docked at the dock by the dock tender. No physician delivers a baby, only doctors do. That's where the term doctor came from. A dock tender. Where its soul was taken, the footprints, and the blood was taken, the placenta. And they took the blood and the soul of the baby. They used to slap the baby so they'd cry, hang him upside down, slap him so they'd cry. They tried to tell you that was to clear its lungs. No. That's not what it was for. It was the turning upside down and the putting the baby into pain. An emotional reaction to evil. Evil puts a mirror up to righteousness, and it turns things upside down, backwards, and inside out. And that's what the reaction was. And then the baby was sent with a tug out to sea, where it was presumed dead and lost at sea, until it should return after its 7th year. See, 8th birthday? See, age of accountability. Until it should return after its 7th year and claim its minor estate. And it failed to do so. And so it's still presumed dead and lost at sea. Just like you all are. How does that make you feel? You're the vessel. You're that ship that was sent out to sea, that came through the birth canal, docked at the dock by the dock tender, where you were a ward of the state. And your mother signed off as an informant. Signature of informant. My mom's name right there. The legal definition of the word informant is someone who gives someone else up to another.
In this industry, what you must understand is, when you do sell your soul, you are allowed to live forever. And these people that are called youngins, like I was, had no idea that these people still live. They will prey, haunt, kidnap, anything to stay on top. This is their world. They have nothing but time, is what they believe. The art of exchanging spirits, trading spirits.
And then when they do die, they can move their consciousness from their decaying body, from their dead, body to a new clone of themselves. They can basically, they can harness and control and transport the informational bundle that is a soul from one piece of hardware to another, or wetware to another. They know how to do this, and this is why, like, in all the human myths about Apollo and Aphrodite and whatever, Zeus himself, these gods seem like they live forever. They always look the same, and whereas humans are, being born and dying generation after generation, these Nordics these gods always look the same, because first of all, their lifespans are thousands of our years per body, and then also they can move their consciousness into clones of themselves. So yeah, it's exactly as you describe it. It was done a very long time ago. And these are the people who manage us.
Let's burn this place to the ground.
I will not go down that way. I choose to fight back. I choose to rise, not fall. I choose to live, not die. And I know that what's within me is also within you.
We did not come this far to just break down and lose now. I'm a winner. I'm going to win.
Lose? I don't lose. I win. I win! That's my job! That's what I do!
I don't care whether you love me or you hate me, just as long as I win.
Hello, Neo.
Who are you?
I am the architect. I created the Matrix. I've been waiting for you. You have many questions, and though the process has altered your consciousness, you remain irrevocably human. Ergo, some of my answers you will understand, and some of them you will not. Concurrently, while your first question may be the most pertinent, you may or may not realize it is also the most irrelevant.
Why am I here?
Your life is the sum of a remainder of an unbalanced equation inherent to the programming of the Matrix. You are the eventuality of an anomaly which, despite my sincerest efforts, I have been unable to eliminate from what is otherwise a harmony of mathematical precision.
It's all in your mind. The problem with you is you still think you're real. You think you're wearing those clothes? You think you're crouched on that floor? Bullshit! You ain't got a body no more, son. It's all up here now. You want to move something, you gotta move it with your mind. You gotta focus. You hear what I'm saying?
How? How do you focus?
I don't know how you focus. Just focus.
How did you do that?
You gotta take all your emotions, all your anger, all your love, all your hate, and push it way down here into the pit of your stomach, and then let it explode like a reactor.
Okay.
Don't laugh.
To get somebody to blow up a bus full of children or a building full of innocent civilians, you have to grind it into their minds. You have to wash their brains and tell them there's a higher cause out there. It's religious, ethnic, racial, whatever. And for that higher cause, you can disregard all the normal rules of morality.
Strip clubs.
Strip clubs?
Yes.
Aren't those the places where men drink beer watching women show their naked breasts and vaginas and dancing all around?
Yes.
Ew.
Don't listen to these people, Ricky. You're a winner.
Consider this. If a large portion of the information that forms your beliefs, which forms your identity, was incomplete or selectively presented to you or deliberately shaped to serve someone else's interest, or just passed on down generation after generation, just things they were convinced of when they were little, then the identity that you are defending and the beliefs you are defending and the conclusions you are defending and the narrative you are defending is built on sand. You are protecting a construction that was handed to you, not chosen by you, assembled from material from a source you've never examined. You weren't able to. All of it. Even you're a human being is questionable. We have 5 basic knowings. Beliefs need to go completely. They are the tool of the deceiver to divide, to enslave, to keep the creator small. 5 knowings. You need air, you need water, you need calories, you need to eliminate waste, and you need sleep. We know those are knowings here in this particular realm, which is transit at best. But here's the 2 knowings that are going to change everything, and it's going to change the realm you live in when the conscious creators wake up. Because that's it. Here's a knowing. You are conscious. A baby's conscious. Animals are conscious. Consciousness runs everywhere all the time before the first program's put in, before the first identity is built. And secondly, you are a creator. Everything outside of nature, we created it. From invisible thought right into manifested, into material, into matter. We are done with the deceivers, the pedophiles, the criminals, the insane, narcissistic criminals that have shaped narratives and convinced all the creators that they're small. They're not, they're unworthy.
I have no tangible anything to back this up. It's just a feeling I have. I feel that this is like them just eroding, I don't know, like, it's like eroding away your autonomy. It's like they want to get to you before you could even form your own ideas and visions. They just want your life to be big, bright buttons and bright colors, and you don't have to try to accomplish something. They'll just give it to you. It's a way to like keep you stupid, right? You don't have to sit through hours of learning how to paint. I hate when technology companies talk about like, oh, we want to get people up to speed. We want to make things available faster. It's like, no, fucker. That's the human experience, is committed time, dedication, desire, discipline. What is this gross, like, elimination of suffering? Even, I've said many times before, you know, a ChatGPT partner, that just removes rejection. It removes anything challenging you. Anyone that's choosing to starve, right, and give up the youth of their life to huff paint and put paint on canvas, or to sit there and write, hungry or suffering in any way to try to achieve, you know, the personal life goal of a piece of art that is reflective of their journey or a grand vision. I don't think any tech company respects that shit.
I want to be part of the people that make meaning, not the thing that's made.
I screw up all the time, but that is being human. And that's my greatest strength.
I want to make things that made me happy. I loved Golden Age musicals. I'd watch Carousel and Oklahoma and American in Paris and Sound of Music. They were so beautiful and had these dance breaks, and the dresses were floating and the colors. It was just like that feeling I got from that. I just wanted to create that feeling.
Because what is art? What does it mean? Why do we make it? What if it was just, here, I made this, and that was enough? You know? Just art for the sake of art.
So, nerve agent is a chemical weapon that, as you spray it on people, it will make a certain enzyme, which is called cholinesterase. It regulates your neural transmissions, okay? So, with this chemical, the nerve agent, it kills that enzyme, and lungs won't work, your heart won't work, nothing will work. We have this here in Maryland.
The nerve agent that Andrew is describing here is sarin. It's a highly toxic human-made organophosphorus. Sarin acts as a potent inhibitor of enzymes, and over time, the binding becomes irreversible. In 1987, the U.S. joined the Chemical Weapons Convention, which bans the development, stockpiling, and use of chemical weapons. The U.S. had about 30,000 tons of chemical weapons, including nerve agents. In July 2023, the U.S. completed destruction of the last declared chemical weapons at the Bluegrass Army Depot in Kentucky. As long as the nerve agents are not weaponized, the U.S. is allowed to conduct research and development for scientific purposes such as preventative treatment. However, this becomes more concerning when Andrew Hug reveals that one of the chemists in that lab was so careless, refusing to wear appropriate safety gear, that she accidentally exposed herself to the nerve agent.
She was just being lazy, and she wore Crocs, and she, got lazy.
What? Who's she, sir? What did
She's her lab cuss. She's a lab tech. She's supposed to wear all this gear, and she's like, I don't like it. She just wore like Crocs and her own clothes.
Yeah.
And so it's soaked in her clothes. And just soaked very well on her skin. So she could literally just start touching stuff. Other people would touch like a door, and then people would die.
The reason we have free speech is because at pivotal stages throughout human history, Christian white men mostly have decided that yes, actually it would be worth dying to prove a point. That's how it happened. That's how we got this. The free speech that you enjoy, to the extent that you're able to have free speech, is because of that. Is because of men like this.
Nigga, how they don't understand the things I say on Twitter. All my niggas not.
When you are unable to say the N-word, you are divided, angry, controlled. You blame those who are different from you instead of those responsible. Controllers. Group think, group thought, free thought, e-thought, N-thought. N-word thinking is a philosophical viewpoint which holds that all positions regarding truth are established on the basis of logic, reason, and atheism, instead of religion, authority, tradition, and dogma. These negative things are known as J-thought.
This represents a clear and present danger to our constitutionally guaranteed freedom to be online.
A lot of things are getting exposed right now.
In Europe and in the United Kingdom where I'm from, the age of consent is 16, and I did sleep with a 16-year-old.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's way worse.
There's a lot of fraud, and you're seeing it at the highest levels of government.
You're hit on the stock exchange. It didn't work, my friend. And now you have my construction crews going around the city at 24 hours a day. How exactly is that supposed to help my company absorb Wayne's?
Leave us.
No, stay here. I'm in charge.
Do you feel it, child? Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding.
And people are also scared because no one's getting in trouble for things. Like, no one's getting in trouble for the Epstein files.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
I have one for him. I just wanted to follow up on the one that I asked you, which was,
Did you hear
what
me?
did you want
Did you hear
to
me?
Yes,
Ask
sir.
him a question.
I will, but
I've given you a long answer. Ask this gentleman a question. Don't be rude.
I have with me today copies of records that show his personal sign-off. How much those of us who executed his wishes bear responsibility is for another day. But I think this is the day his reign ends.
This phone make you wanna move, make you wanna groove. I got a phone, got a phone, yeah, that phone.
And despite our little diversion to the lovely country of Iran, lovely place. They say it's an evil country. They're just evil. But we had to do that because otherwise bad things could happen, really bad things. So we've sent out, and I think you're going to see some incredible results, for those people that question it. You're going to see some The job we've done has been amazing.
This is almost a complete U.S. surrender to Iran. The first point is that the United States will guarantee never to attack Iran again. Iran will have complete control over the Strait of Hormuz. Iran can choose to enrich uranium for its nuclear program. All sanctions on Iran will be removed. This is a very big deal. Removal of all secondary sanctions against foreign entities that do business with Iran. End of all United Nations Security Council resolutions against Iran. End of all International Atomic Energy Agency resolutions. Compensation, reparations for all the damage that the United States and Israel did to Iran. Withdrawal of U.S. combat forces from the Middle East, giving Iran control over the Middle East. And the last, and the most important, is that the United States will also agree to end hostilities against all of Iran's proxies, including Hezbollah and the Houthis in Yemen. So as you can see, this is basically a complete U.S. surrender to Iran, which tells us right away that Donald Trump is not serious. If you go into a shop and you negotiate with the shop owner and you want to sell maybe a book to the guy and you're hoping for $100, but because it's bargaining, you think, maybe I should start high. So you say $1,000. If you say $1,000 and the shop owner says, yeah, I'll take that deal, there's something wrong here, okay? All right, so there's something very wrong, and there's very little chance that the ceasefire will hold. And in fact, we're already seeing news that the ceasefire is being broken, okay? So there are 3 individuals on Twitter who've made some very interesting points. All right, so in this tweet, Mr. Bojack said that, listen, if this is really a ceasefire, why is the United States continuing to send aircraft carriers, the USS George Bush, to the Middle East? What they're really trying to do is buy time in order for the ground troops to get ready to attack and seize the strait. Okay? So once everything is in position, then probably what will happen is that Israel will launch a false flag against the Americans, which will justify an American attack against Iran. Right? So that's a possible scenario. But again, the question is, if this is really a ceasefire, if Donald Trump is really intent on peace, why does he continue to send U.S. forces to the Middle East? That's question number 1. Question number 2 is, the problem is how Iran is defending itself. It's using something called the Mosaic defense, which is to say that there's 31 provinces, and these are 31 cells or units that are all responsible for their own strategy and attack and defense, meaning that there's no longer a centralized command. So it doesn't matter if you negotiate with the leadership of Iran, because the IRGC, the people who are fighting, will not agree to a ceasefire because they do not trust the Americans or the Israelis.
Criminals in his time used to believe in things. Honor. Look at you. What do you believe in, huh? What do you believe in?
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger. Why so serious?
Never start with the head. The victim gets all fuzzy.
What you gonna do? You gonna come closer?
Everything burns. Introduce a little anarchy. I don't think we were supposed to watch television and take on all the problems of the world. I don't think the body's equipped for that. No, there should be just a day the TV just goes off. Maybe a week the TV just goes off. What's so bad about that?
Well, now it's time to push the button and get online.
Finally!
Hey, just a minute, you guys. First, you'll need to install your browser. The browser is the application that allows you to view all of the information on the web.
You forgot to tell them that installing a browser is simple, and often it's free.
That's true, Dasha. Sometimes you can get it free from your ISP, or a friend can download it for you on a disk.
And don't forget, Mom, you can also buy a browser or download one from the internet.
You guys are jumping way ahead of yourselves. First, Peter, you might want to explain what it means to download.
That's simple. It means to transfer a file of information from a main computer or server to your computer.
And it's easy to do, too. Even I know how. You simply highlight the link for the information you want, then save it on your disk to install or use later. You can download games or anything.
So to download a browser, you'll want to download it to your location on a hard drive, typically your temp directory, so you can install it.
Now you need to connect to your ISP. You click on the icon and then choose Connect.
You can hear it dialing. Sounds weird, huh? Now it's verifying our secret password.
And now we're online. Finally.
How's it feel? Killing your own kind.
They need you right now. But when they don't, they'll cast you out. Like a leper. You see, their morals, their code, it's a bad joke. Dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
Nation's capital, now home to hundreds of National Guard troops, sent in on Monday by the president.
We've got some fresh images of 3I Atlas, a third ever interstellar object observed from Earth.
Heavily armed troops patrol a variety of locations across the country.
Currently racing through our solar system.
Showing some extraordinary video during a hearing about UFOs.
This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge.
But really get some air.
3 gust 24.
The performance doing that.
25 left, top of 582.
Just make sure you have a hold of those grips on the sides. And we're definitely want to do an anti-G straining maneuver. Are you ready?
I think so.
Here we go. We're going to go to the left. All right, Jessup. Squeeze those legs. Ready, hit it. So there's 7 G's right there. How you doing?
Delta 3324 tower, turn right heading 21.
Jessup, back with me? There you are, Jessup.
Yeah.
Nice work. How you feeling?
Oh, I just passed out, I think.
Yeah, that's called the G-lock.
Oh, I'm coming too. I don't know what's going on.
That's all right. Just easy. Take it easy. We're riding an F-18.
Whoa, that was bizarre.
Shoot the lights out.
Why would a god take orders from anyone at all.
I think you're throwing around the word God a bit loosely there.
No, because you said I was all-powerful, invincible, and stronger than a whole team of Avengers, which includes at least one God, so...
Just another lonely night.
But I'm starting to think maybe you don't know what I am.
Are you willing to sacrifice your life?
You'll see the astronauts sometimes connected to like wires and harnesses. Is that to keep them like in the frame during the broadcast, or what's the reason for that?
No, I haven't actually. You mean while they're inside the shuttle?
Yeah, like when they're inside the ISS, sometimes during the feeds, the broadcast, you'll see kind of pulling on their belts or something like that.
I bet that is. I have not personally seen that.
Oh, really?
But I know that they try to be still when they're doing talking to someone, and then they usually try to release and do like a flip at the end or something like that.
Because I've seen the flip before, and it almost looked like a foot was caught like inside something, but there was nothing really there. It was really strange. I didn't know if there was something to kind of like hold them in place or something.
We never had anything like that, but they may have learned over time that it was hard to stay still, and they may have come up with something.
Did you ever think the public would find out that all the spacewalks were filmed underwater? Did you have any comment on that?
Well, we train underwater.
Oh, okay, but only training?
Only training.
Okay.
Google bubbles in space. You can literally see bubbles coming up from these astronauts' helmets. It's ridiculous. When I saw it, I was like, this is a joke.
So many times during spacewalks outside the International Space Station, we can see air bubbles rising up. Can you touch on how there are air bubbles in space?
Can you be more specific? Air bubbles?
So yeah, like a lot of times during the footage, the NASA footage, you can see bubbles coming up out of the helmets or kind of from underneath you. How do you explain bubbles in space?
Yeah, often on the outside of the space station, you'll liberate little pieces of, it's a really harsh environment out there, and the outside of the space station gets beat up pretty good. And sometimes, you'll see just little flecks of paint or something that you might have disrupted floating away from the suit. And, that's generally what that is. I've never seen any kind of air bubble anywhere.
Could it be that you're filming in an underwater pool and you're not really out there? All right, well, I just encourage everyone to look up Bubbles in Space, hashtag Bubbles in Space. Thank you very much.
How's Bubbles in Space doing?
How's what?
Bubbles in Space?
Bubbles in space?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
No? You Mr. Kelly?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? You don't remember the question from Tampa about the bubbles in space coming up from the helmets? Yeah, you guys are in an underwater pool, remember? We know, just remember.
While they steal $58 million a day in taxpayers' money to show you cartoons, CGI, they just have to show you enough of Hollywood and magic tricks for you to believe the nonsense. It shocks me how many people actually believe they're floating above our heads. It's all filmed here on Earth. Outer space is a fantasy.
Does that make sense?
Do you see what I'm getting at?
Well, duh.
Good, because I can't say it out loud. I gotta follow the whole community guidelines or I'm gonna catch another 3-month probation.
I'll do some toot now. I'll do a little toot. If somebody give it to me, offers it to me, I mean, it sounds polite.
To be racist and to misrepresent socioeconomic backgrounds without backlash, now that's a talent. A gift from God. I need to find out. They have a secret. I know they have a secret. How do I be racist, misogynistic, horrible, and get away with it? Oh, how could I have been this stupid? It's so simple now. I understand now. I understand now.
Hey, buddy. Hey, are you homeless? Yeah? You want some money? Nah, man.
You just got pranked.
I'm so sorry. I just must have had too much coffee this morning. The chair's downstairs.
Oh.
Come on.
You want to wait here or?
No. This is turning into a house tour. Come on.
Are you renovating or something?
No. There she is. Well, here she is. See?
Yep. Somebody else here?
No. No, it's just me. And you, of course. I mean, I don't want to sound rude.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know, Theodore, you tell me. You're selling the only piece of furniture you own, basically? You got a creepy-ass birthday cake up there? I don't know what's going on. I don't feel comfortable going over there, to be honest.
Today's my birthday. And this is how I'm celebrating.
The problem with people like this is that they are so stupid that they have no idea how stupid they are. You see, if you're very, very stupid, how can you possibly realize that you're very, very stupid? You'd have to be relatively intelligent to realize how stupid you are. There's a wonderful bit of research by a guy called David Dunning at Cornell, who's a friend of mine, I'm proud to say, who's pointed out that in order to know how good you are at something requires exactly the same skills as it does to be good at that thing in the first place, which means, and this is terribly funny, that if you're absolutely no good at something at all, then you lack exactly the skills that you need to know that you're absolutely no good at it.
I wish the Jews would lend me money. I wish the Jews. I wish the Jews would lend me. I wish the Jews. I wish the Jews would lend me money. Oh, Jew, making money moves. Hey, you, Netanyahu. Oh, Jew, why'd you have to sue? Palestine is not for you. Blowing kids up, it's a bad habit. Snipping foreskins and I'm bad at it. Me, I wish the